I am doing a walking tour of my gardens. I love to garden. It's a creative process, different from writing, but creative. These cheerful yellow flowers are coreopsis. I think I'm saying that right. Some ornamental garlic. This is some oregano, rosemary. This is a different oregano that's flowering. I have a bunch of echinacea that is popping up here. I love to rub my hands through oregano as I'm walking by. Here's a Lodelia, ground cover. Here I have a lot of echinacea that I've planted. As you can see, I love echinacea. You too. I have catnip, cattails, excuse me, running the length of the lot. And I just love the way they kind of sway in the wind. They look very peaceful. Here are asters. There are a few blooms, but they generally just bloom in the fall. This is a black gum, which I planted pretty recently to replace a maple that I lost in a hurricane last year. The maple was about the size of this white oak, which obviously made it through. Over here is a rose and thyme garden. There are two types of thyme. The roses went through a blooming cycle pretty recently. So there's not a ton of blooms right now, but will be blooming again. All the roses out front are aromatic. Down below I have, I'll start here. I've got passion flower that is starting to bloom. The blooms are pretty exotic. It's a host for the Gulf fritillae. And down below, these big leaves are hollyhocks. They'll be blooming soon. These cheerful flowers are a kind of daisy. It's the Stokes aster, a bunch of blooms about to come up. This is bee balm, and it has started to bloom. There'll be a whole bunch more pretty soon. Bees absolutely love it. Do not get between a bee and his bee balm. Some people call it wild bergamot. This is a Mexican buckeye, and it's already bloomed, and it has a lot of buckeyes. Yeah, buckeyes are just everywhere. These are some sweet olives. They've already done their blooming cycle. But there's like a couple of little blooms that may be forming. Very out of season. Here I have a lantana. I called it my Goldilocks lantana because I have 3 of them, and the 2 on either side are practically invisible. So this spot was apparently just right, hence Goldilocks. This is a salvia. Down here is a porter wheat going back from the freeze. Some more echinacea. All of this echinacea is wild, or it's basically reseeding from the ones I planted. This is a Virginia sweet spire. It's already done its blooming. The blooms are quite fragrant. Over here, there's not a lot. I have a banana tree in the back and some elephant ears growing back from the freeze. I don't know how that banana tree made it. A couple of cannas, that's the blooms. This is a arrowwood by Brunum. I think I'm saying that right, maybe a little off. It's blooming. The bees love the blooms. Oak leaf hydrangea by Burnham. That's how you say it, I think. I lost one in the freeze. Some black-eyed Susans, a bunch more about to bloom. The white flowers are yarrow. This is giant Rudbeckia. They've had a blooming cycle. We'll have another one. And the yarrow has been blooming for a while. This is another by Burnham. This is huge. It's massive. The blooms are not particularly aromatic, slightly so, but there's so many blooms that you do get a nice aroma from it. This is a beauty berry. It is blooming. There's another one further off. The blooms are inconspicuous. It gets its name from the berries that follow that are quite lovely. I've got some Morella growing in the margins. It's very invasive, so I work to keep it that way. These are some corabels, lily of the Nile. These lilies were given to me when my husband died, and I put it in the ground, and it keeps coming back. This rose is very aromatic. This is my herb garden. I've got mint, some basil. Basil will take off as it gets hotter. Some lavender, a couple of different kinds, some parsley, some culinary sage, fennel. There's some dill. Around the cistern are blueberries, and there are actually a lot of blueberries that are forming. So there'll be actually quite the harvest. That's a wormwood. Parsley hawthorn. It's in the rose family, so it does have thorns. The red flowers of pentas. I've got milkweed growing all over the place. And I had a wave of monarchs recently that munched a lot of them down. But they grow back quickly. This is hummingbird bush growing back from the freeze. Another kind of salvia. It's got some bumblebees on it. This is catnip that is blooming. Some frog fruit, that's the common name. I do not remember the technical name. Some jasmine in the corner that's been blooming. Got a fig tree in the corner that has been shaded out, and it's only very recently that it's taken off and found its oats. It's finally got enough sun, and it is fruiting. It's doing exactly what I wanted it to do. It just took it 6 years. I've got some wild papaya. I say wild. I threw some papaya seeds out from a papaya that I had eaten out in the yard, and presto, papaya. They have been killed, during the freeze, but their root systems survive and they grow back. If I could ever get a winter without a freeze, I would have a ton of papaya. These are night blooming jasmine, and the blooms are quite heady. That's a sassafras. This is a weeping redbud, and the leaves are heart-shaped. I planted it on Valentine's Day, also because the blooms are very Valentine's Day-like. It replaced this tree that I lost to the developer to the south. Over here, I've got a garden with just like wild echinacea, just say wild colors, some blackberry, another salvia. I have 2 pine trees because my husband loves pine trees. So I planted one for each of us. I'm going to close out with something in the back. So on approach, I've got this green ash, which I kind of like because it just feels like I'm driving into another world. But what I love back here is this wild elderberry. The blooms are quite fragrant. I'm smelling it now. And I just love it. It's here. It's wild. Just nature doing her thing. My gardens are structured yet wild, much like my heart. And I am going to leave you with this.